Witam Państwa i zapraszam na konferencję prasową po spotkaniu premier Islandii Kristrún Frostadóttir i prezesa Rady Ministrów Donalda Tuska. Panie premierze, bardzo proszę.
Dziękuję. Dear Prime Minister, dear Kristrún, dear friend, I'm really happy to have you here in Warsaw, and thank you for your decision to make this visit to Warsaw. Tradycyjnie zaprzyjaźnieni, Polska i Islandia. Możemy też mówić o naszych bardzo dobrych relacjach osobistych, właściwie we wszystkich sprawach współczesnej polityki. Pani premier wraca właśnie z Kijowa. Byłem tam niedawno. Nasza ocena sytuacji w Ukrainie, nasza ocena wojny rosyjsko-ukraińskiej, naszego zaangażowania w pomoc Ukrainie jest identyczna. Nie musimy o tym długo dyskutować. Polska i Islandia, oba państwa są przekonane, że tylko sprawiedliwy pokój, tylko niepodległość Ukrainy, tylko zaprzestanie agresji rosyjskiej daje szansę na pozytywny scenariusz także w przyszłości w Europie i na wschód od Europy. Bardzo dziękuję za taki serdeczny patronat pani premier nad polską mniejszością w Islandii. Słowo mniejszość jest tutaj może trochę nie na miejscu, bo stanowimy, can you recall me 7%?
Community. Immigration, they're part of Icelandic culture.
Okej. Nie chcę powiedzieć ile, dobrze. Ale mamy 30 000 ponad naszych rodaków, więc jest to największa mniejszość w Islandii i jak pani premier przed chwilą powiedziała, są częścią wspólnoty islandzkiej. Bardzo się cieszę, bo za każdym razem, kiedy się widzimy, pani premier podkreśla, jak ważne dla Islandii, jak ważna i jak korzystna dla Islandii jest obecność naszych rodaków, praca naszych rodaków w Islandii. Rozmawialiśmy o sytuacji w Europie w kontekście zarówno zbliżającego się referendum w Islandii, referendum o ewentualnym otwarciu rozmów o przystąpieniu Islandii do Unii Europejskiej. Mamy identyczny pogląd na temat potrzeby integrowania naszych wysiłków na rzecz bezpieczeństwa. Byłbym więcej niż szczęśliwy, gdyby Islandia, ale także Norwegia, państwa, z którymi i tak współpracujemy tak blisko, jak to tylko możliwe, były częścią tej samej wspólnoty co Polska. Mamy z panią premier głębokie przekonanie, że we wszystkich działaniach na rzecz wspólnych polityk, to nie tylko bezpieczeństwo, musimy się nawzajem szanować, respektować różnice. Wielkość kraju nie ma tutaj znaczenia. Wszyscy zasługujemy dokładnie na ten sam szacunek i poszanowanie różnych odrębności. Z drugiej strony wiemy dobrze, że w tych bardzo trudnych czasach wielkiej niepewności geopolitycznej, tego strategicznego zamieszania, i mówimy tu przecież nie tylko o agresji rosyjskiej na Ukrainę, zintegrowanie państw i narodów podobnie myślących byłoby bardzo korzystne, szczególnie w sferze bezpieczeństwa. My współpracujemy już blisko, Islandia i Polska, jeśli chodzi o bezpieczeństwo, także w konkretnym wymiarze militarnym i będziemy kontynuować naszą współpracę. Bardzo liczę tutaj na takie wspólne rozumienie spraw bezpieczeństwa również u nas w kraju. Wybaczysz, jedno zdanie powiem na temat debaty, która dzisiaj w Polsce się odbywa. Bardzo bym chciał, i tu zwracam się do pana prezydenta, bardzo bym chciał, żeby w sprawach bezpieczeństwa to myślenie było wspólne, tak jak jest wspólne między Islandią a Polską. jeśli chodzi przede wszystkim o ten wielki program finansowania polskiego bezpieczeństwa SAFE. Dosłownie kilka minut temu dotarła do mnie wiadomość, że wszystkie właściwie zorganizowane środowiska gospodarcze w Polsce, przedsiębiorcy, firmy, pracodawcy dołączyli do generałów i oficerów Wojska Polskiego, do polskiego rządu z apelami o to, aby nie blokować pieniędzy na polski przemysł zbrojeniowy, na polską armię, na polską gospodarkę w tej części, która decyduje o bezpieczeństwie. Wszyscy na tym skorzystamy. Nawet Islandia w jakimś sensie skorzysta na tym, jeśli Polska będzie mogła zainwestować w nasz przemysł zbrojeniowy te setki miliardów złotych. Bardzo liczę na szybki podpis pana prezydenta pod tą ustawą dla dobra nas wszystkich i dla bezpieczeństwa Polski. Jeszcze raz dziękuję za wizytę. Przyjąłem z wielkim entuzjazmem zaproszenie do złożenia wizyty w Islandii. Ustalimy szczegóły. Życzę powodzenia i jeszcze raz dziękuję za świetną robotę, jaką wykonujesz i w swoim kraju, i w Europie.
Bardzo dziękuję i o zabranie głosu poproszę premier Islandii Kristrún Frostadóttir.
Thank you, Donald, for your kind words and for receiving me here in Warsaw. Yes, I'm coming from Kyiv, but this is also an important visit for me and for the Icelandic nation as a whole, that we strengthen the ties between Iceland and Poland. We have these ties on so many various levels. Like Donald said, on a personal level, we have the highest number of immigration coming from Poland and Iceland. And I mean, I can say that this was definitely and has been a success story in Iceland, the integration of Polish immigrants in Iceland. Being able to hold on to their own identities. I know that they have language classes for their own language, but are also active parts of Icelandic society.
No clashes, no.
No clashes. And I told Donald this story, that my older daughter's favorite kindergarten teacher is Polish, Margosata. I mean, everyone has this story to tell in Iceland of someone who's touched their lives that comes from Poland. And so I have the utmost and deepest respect for you. We also have had a great relationship on various other accounts. Obviously, we're joint NATO members, and we always welcome more activity in our region when it comes to protecting Arctic security. We had a few years back some air policing from Poland and would welcome that going forward, and also obviously have the same sentiment when it comes to the importance of protecting Europe, protecting sovereignty of countries in Europe, and this is a good group to be a part of. Donald mentioned here, yes, that we're going forward now in the next few months, possibly. We haven't decided finally on the date, but in the coming months, we are going to have a referendum on opening up the negotiations, the accession negotiations for Iceland of possibly joining the EU. And we talked about extensively the importance of understanding that this is about, opening an opportunity. Do we want to see how we can be a better integrated place in Europe? Is there respect for Icelandic identity within Europe? We have been active and very good partners through the EEA. This is our biggest trading bloc. But we have a lot of other elements that we can share. And I think we share that attitude towards the importance of whether Iceland joins the EU or not, the importance of we having a shared understanding of the distinctiveness of every country in Europe, but also joining together as a group. I also want to say that it feels, even though it was a somber attitude, as Prime Minister Tusk mentioned yesterday in Kyiv, I think it's very important that we come out of this fourth year of aggression united in solidarity. And Iceland has, in various aspects, been a participator in projects that Poland has been in supporting Ukraine, and we will continue to do so. Thank you.
Bardzo dziękuję i mamy czas na 2 pytania. Poproszę o zadanie pierwszego i wskazanie, do kogo jest kierowane.
Hi. My name is Sammy, I'm from Iceland. Seen in Iceland, I mean. Maybe a quick question for both of you. What could Iceland bring to the EU and vice versa? And Mr. Tusk, would you have any experience for accession talks, experienced advice, I mean, to Icelanders?
I think Iceland has a lot to bring to the EU. Iceland has shown its strength and its perseverance throughout centuries. We have been able to develop our resources in a positive way. We've been able to drive GDP growth in the right direction. We have had a good welfare system. We have solid values, and we have respect for one another. A lot of these are underlying values that we see in the European community as a whole as well. But Iceland also is an Arctic nation. We're not mainland Europe. So even though we share certain values, we don't share borders in the same way that a lot of Central European or mainland European countries understand. So this is a different element to Europe. And I think in this geopolitical environment that we're in, this would be an add-on to Europe. But obviously, that has to be taken into account that, you know, this special situation of our position needs to be taken into consideration if we decide to join talks, that they understand our way of life, the way we use our resources. And so I'm looking forward to see what comes out of that.
As you know, here in Poland, you have no doubts that EU membership, it's a success story for my country. I'm really happy that Europe, as a political organization, the EU, is still attractive for many countries. I've heard so many comments that Europe is close to collapse and said, you know, it's not true. It's still the best place in the world, including Iceland. Iceland is Europe. We are talking about how to improve our relations, and in some areas it's absolutely clear for both of us and for all of us that Europe as a part of the world in this very specific place should be more integrated, and security is the first obvious reason why we should find more ways, sometimes specific ways, how to integrate each other. For me, it's really important to have Iceland as the closest partner, possible closest partner in fact, for everything. I absolutely understand and I respect some specifics. I mean, and this is the only way how to integrate the EU with other countries. I mean, to understand, first of all, to show respect, to understand what dignity means, to treat the bigger, smaller countries equally. It's really important. Brussels is not to teach anyone. I mean, for me, it's absolutely clear that EU is very attractive for countries like Iceland, but it must be absolutely clear for all the Europeans that Iceland is equally attractive as a possible member for Europe as a whole. And as I said, I would be more than happy if Iceland will be part of our community, even if the community should change for this a little bit, to be more flexible, and I'm ready to, together with Christian, to work on this. It is in our common interest. For me, it's also very important to underline how it is important for our regional security to have this different form of integration, not only with Iceland, but also with Norway, Sweden, Baltic states, Finland, Denmark. It works. Now Poland is a part of the most effective format in NATO and in the EU when it comes to defense cooperation, and we will continue this work for obvious reasons. I am absolutely sure that we are able to find the best possible way how to discuss about our integration. And something what I think this is maybe the best evidence that it makes sense to discuss about integration. Is the situation now in the UK. If you ask people today about Brexit in the UK, the latest polls are absolutely clear. 65% of the Brits they would vote for the EU today. More than 80% of young people in the UK are in favor when it comes to possible membership in the EU. It means that if you have this very specific experience like Brexit, you know maybe much better than the others that the membership of the EU is something really valuable, and I wish you, okay, we'll see.
We will listen to whatever the Icelandic population wants to do, but it's good to hear that there's an understanding among our peers in Europe that Iceland is Iceland, and countries continue to be countries if they join the EU, and if not, we're an active part of the EEA, and that's very important for us as well.
I poproszę kolejne ostatnie pytanie.
As far as we know, economic development, the cooperation was also one of the subject of your conversation. Could you give us more details on that? Do we have any specific plan to develop economic cooperation between Iceland and Poland?
Yeah, this is for me?
Only.
Oh, it's only for me. There are a lot of opportunities between the two countries. Like I said, I mean, we do have these cultural ties, but Iceland has specific knowledge, for example, in renewable energy that we are more than happy to continue to share. I'm of the belief that in the southern part of the country, in Poland, there has been some work on geothermal here as well. And this is one of these things that we proudly bring to the table. This is something that we've been able to harness in our country and brings a lot of opportunities. This is something that's important to Europe and this part of the region that we find other opportunities in energy than just to be reliant on oil or sort of the traditional parts. So this is something that I definitely look forward to and would probably be the most important thing. But I also want to say tourism. I mean, we have a number of Polish airlines that fly to Iceland. I mean, this is the fourth largest groups that come and visits Iceland as well. And that's not just because of family ties, it's also for tourism and other things. So I would welcome future developments in that as well.
Ja też nie mam wątpliwości, że to nie tylko ekonomia, to nie tylko praca naszych rodaków w Islandii, ale na przykład kultura. To jest też ta przestrzeń, gdzie my się coraz lepiej rozumiemy. Mówiłem, Krystian, już się pochwaliłem pani premier, że mój przyjaciel z lat młodości to najwybitniejszy tłumacz literatury islandzkiej, pan Jacek Godek. Jacku, pozdrawiam cię serdecznie. Ja wciąż pamiętam moje fascynacje literackie jeszcze z czasów licealnych literaturą islandzką, więc to są tylko przykłady, ale tych pól do współpracy mamy dużo więcej. Oba narody bardzo dumne, bardzo bogate w kulturę, w doświadczenia. Naprawdę mamy bardzo dużo rzeczy wspólnych do zrobienia.
I bardzo dziękuję. Dziękujemy.
I have this question. Is still Prince Paul still popular?
You brought this.
Yeah, it's special for you. One for the room.
Okay, I have to tell you this.
Prince Paul, wiecie.
Because you know who's going to be happy about this? My father, Papi, my dad, he loves
my generation, this is
Papi, he loves this. So I grew up on this everywhere, like either in a car or in a cupboard, you always find like a Prince Polo somewhere. Isn't this amazing? Oh, I love that.
I takie słodkie zakończenie, pyszne. Dziękuję bardzo. Dziękujemy również Państwu.
Are we all set? Yeah?
Which way?
Down?